If everything goes as planned, we will be able to control all of the media coverage coming out of this area. Our goal right now is to gain their trust.
Miss Washington? Jewel? I'm sorry, Mr. Walburn, I can only take Miss Washington back. This is top secret.
But he's Richard Wellborn, youngest and brightest CEO of Syntax and a fine Hamilton citizen. He knows the city, its idiosyncrasies. He has been a tremendous help to me.
I'm sorry, but he simply does not have the clearance. So, just take you. Follow me if you will.
I'm sorry, he was just following orders.
Have a seat, please.
We have a situation here that requires a, should we say, delicate touch. And I know a story like this can make a career, but I'm asking you on behalf of the President of the United States to use a, say, measured amount of information.
Well, what exactly are you asking me, Colonel?
I only have one voice that we can count on to disseminate every bit of information coming out of this city.
Let's cut to the chase, Colonel. You want me to tell the people what you want them to hear. In return, you will give me exclusivity, and you think this is a big deal, but you don't know that I already have all of the other stations eating out of my hand for this story, so you're going to have to give me more than that which I already have.
What else do you want us to give you? Maybe a chair in this room with no camera and no way to get your news out?
Tell me, Colonel, have you heard of freedom of the press?
Have you heard of martial law?
You wouldn't dare.
Yeah, martial law. I know about all your freedom of the press and all that, but during martial law, all of that's out the window. So, I'm not here to quibble with you and fight about laws and liberties and all of that. All I'm saying is that it might be in the best interest of the public not to know everything. For now.
It seems to me, Colonel, that I'm the one holding all the chips. And Colonel, I intend on cashing them. But not how you think. I will do what you want. I will tell the people whatever you want.
Okay.
On one condition. I be kept into the loop as to what is going on at all times. I will be included in all briefings moving forward. I believe that based on my talents and giftings as a journalist that I can help you come up with a more appropriate interpretation of what is going on.
Why do you think that we would give you access to privileged, high-level information? You don't hold all the chips that you think you do.
Don't I, Colonel? How about we call your wife and tell her that you haven't just returned from an overseas mission, but rather from Costa Rica, visiting your other family? That's right. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Your entire army couldn't stop me, so don't even try. I'm simply asking for access to your meetings. That's all.
Okay, Miss Washington. I see I may have underestimated you. If all you're asking is for privy information of what's really going on, I don't see why I might not be able to arrange that for you. In the end, I think we might be able to use you. You're a pretty good reporter, but the whereabouts of a lowly colonel as myself before this event, or actually before I was even involved in this situation, how that's come up, I don't know. We have a deal. We'll give you access to all of the information, but you'll tell the public what information we want you to tell, when we want you to tell it. Any deviation from that, and you will be sorry about that. No matter what you tell my wife.
Understood. You will find that I am most helpful in creating this type of mass deception. Or, what did you call it? A measured level of information? You have a deal, sir. When is the next briefing?
We'll be doing a situation assessment in 20 minutes.
Excellent.
If you will excuse me, I'll have to get you cleared for that meeting.
Okay, so now what? Are we to wait on the help he said he'd send us? Or wait on some sort of sign? Are there instructions?
How's this for a sign?
You guys are glowing?
But how?
Because we're angels.
Sent here to instruct you, to help you win this battle.
I knew there was more. There just had to be more. Come on, Cassie, get it together, girl. Come on, get it together.
Cassie, look at me. Stop that. It's gonna be okay. Look, I know there's a lot more going on in this world than what we realize, and somehow all this has just slipped over into our realm. But one thing I know for sure is that God says that we can do this. That if we can stop this attack from reaching Wakefield, from reaching our families, then it will stop here and it will stop with us.
You're right, but God spoke to you, Vivvy, directly. I haven't even heard him whisper my name. I mean, I'm sure that there are probably others who should be here right now, but for some reason, it's just us. 2 women from Wakefield. 2 women willing to do whatever it takes. I just wish I could hear his voice. Maybe I'd feel better.
Cassie, he spared my life and sent you 2 angels, all to help you. I'm simply here to help you. You're the real game changer in this situation, Cass. I mean, God had to hit me over the head for me to believe. But you know every word I'm saying is true. You know it's him. Cassie, you're the one whose faith is going to make all the difference.
She's right. These are the last days, Cassie. Much different than any the earth has ever known. You will see and experience things you never dreamed possible. Men that you've known all your life will no longer be friends.
Richard!
Yes.
Why is this happening?
Because the great enemy of God knows that his time is short. He knows that the hell he was assigned to so many eons ago is now hastily approaching. He knows that there's nothing he can do to change his situation. So he wants to try and make matters worse. He's always hated man, God, his word. He despises everything with life in it because it reminds him of his own dark soul.
He was one of us, one of our brothers. The scar I have on my arm, I got when we drove him out of heaven. You see, he compromised himself and took others with him. And ever since that time, he's been trying to attack you.
Me and Cassie?
No, mankind. Not you personally, but mankind.
You will have to fight. And though you start as reluctant warriors, you will triumph and be victorious.
How? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny here, but how are we supposed to fight against spirit beings that can leave marks on angels?
Cassie, the demon that did this, you have no idea what he looked like when I got done with him.
That was our age. This is yours. You have more power in your mouth than I could ever hope to have. You were made in God's image. You have the power of his name. You have the power of his word. And you have a covenant with him that he will never break. We are simply your servants.
You see, Cassie, our job is to tell you who you are, to do your bidding, and to protect you. Nothing more.
Now you see what I've been dealing with.
Wow.
Now, first things first, we're going to need some help because they're rallying the troops even as we speak. So I will help you with some strategies.
And after that, I'll help you put together some weapons.
Weapons? But I thought, how does that first go? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal?
That's true when you're dealing with purely spiritual battles, but these demons have gotten brave enough to be walking your streets, so you're going to need something else. Let's start with strategy.
Liz, can you come in here for a moment?
Yes, Miss Anderson.
I need to verify that we are doing everything in our power to make sure that everyone in the business district is comfortable, including our city staff. And be sure to notify the restaurants in the area and begin them to feed the people free of charge.
Yes, ma'am. Free of charge? Wouldn't it be better to let them at least charge something? I mean, that's going to be an enormous bill to the city. And can you imagine the irate business owners lined up down the block?
I don't care who's lined up down the block. We are holding people in my city against their will. And I'll be darn sure that they are at least provided with a decent meal while they're being detained.
Yes, ma'am.
And also I want you to notify the hotels in the quarantined area. See how many empty rooms they have. Because if we don't have this situation handled before nightfall, we're going to have an even bigger problem on our hands.
You should just leave the people out on the streets after dark. It would be so much easier.
So much easier for what? I don't care how many business owners have their noses out of joint for a few days while we sort this out. My concern is for the people of this city. The PR they'll receive will be worth every moment they're put out.
Well,
I don't understand why you're challenging me on everything I say today. You're my deputy mayor. I have enough stress to deal with without adding you to the load.
well, I wouldn't want to be the cause of any more undue stress. Now would I, Miss Mayor? Huh.
Excellent work, Liz. I prefer this body much more. I mean, why go through the hassle of trying to control an office and overrule an unruly mayor when the body is so handily available? This was much easier. Thank you. Your presence is no longer required. You're dismissed.
Dismissed? But what are you doing here? This wasn't supposed to happen. That body was mine. I was supposed to take over.
I said go. I have many matters to attend to. Matters that don't require an underling's assistance. I said go. My plans are above your level, sweetie. Oh, and Liz, you are no longer my deputy mayor. You're relieved.
Relieved. I hear and obey.
Now, how do I want to play this? Get Colonel Mitchell on the phone. Oh, and Liz Thomas is no longer my deputy mayor. She's barred from all government facilities. Get the word out right away. Thank you. Yes, Colonel. Yes, I've been thinking a lot about that hippie mumbo-jumbo stuff you were talking about, and I think I have a better understanding. Get to my office right away. Oh, and Liz Thomas is no longer my deputy mayor in Hamilton. Do you understand? Oh, I'm sure no one expected this. Yes, Master. I will take this campaign far beyond what Janice ever could. My position as mayor gives me far better access to a number of assets than some silly reporter or deputy mayor. Yes, her spirit was strong. Far too strong for a simple minion to overtake. Yes, of course, I am here. Yes, my master. It will ultimately be you that the world bows to.